Hello everyone, Brandon Marcello here at Scott Field, Davis Wade Stadium. Late Saturday night, actually maybe early Sunday, it might be past midnight by now, but Mississippi State, a perfect 4-0 after a 30-10 win against South Alabama. The Bulldogs, ranked 23rd in the nation, looked sloppy at times, especially in the first quarter. There were 7 combined punts, but the Bulldogs get the W against the South Alabama team that's transitioning from the FCS to the Football Bowl subdivision this season. Dan Mullen not exactly all around pleased. In fact, he called it embarrassing during a halftime radio show. It was a little bit more tempered after the game because he had realized, hey, my team is 4-0, still undefeated, and they're going to be undefeated going into October. The Bulldogs now go into the bye week undefeated before facing Kentucky. Let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. As for this game, as I said, a little bit sloppy. Tyler Russell was off on some throws. He didn't speak to the media afterward, but he was 13 of 27 with an interception. Still had 171 yards. He's still getting over that 150 mark, it seems like, in every game. But he didn't get to throw a touchdown pass, and it was a little bit sloppy. He was missing some receivers. And South Alabama was getting to him a little bit. He took quite a few hits tonight, but only suffered 1 sack, his second sack of the season. So the offensive line is holding up well, but he was just off tonight, and it seemed like it happened early and often. He tried to throw a pass to Arcito Clark, and the timing just didn't seem like the be-all there tonight for Tyler Russell in this offense. But the Bulldogs, the offensive line, I thought, there in the second quarter really started making and pushing their muscles, so to speak. They started flexing a little bit. They're pushing South Alabama aside. They're running the ball down the field. Darius Perkins gets a 44-yard touchdown there early in the second quarter. And from there on, like the floodgates, it seemed like kind of just opened up for Mississippi State. They felt like they got their rhythm, at least in the running game, a little bit in the passing game. They scored 20 unanswered points there, of course, went up 20-0. At halftime, the defense doing their job. They gave up some yards there early, but they held them scoreless in the first half. Only allowed 3 points on that field goal on the very first drive of the second half. The first team unit, very good. They played sound defense. They didn't miss a lot of tackles, didn't miss a lot of assignments. Plus, they got 2 more interceptions. Seems like it is every week. They've been getting interceptions. 9 total for Mississippi State this season. I think they're plus 12 in turnover margin for the year after tonight's game, getting 2 interceptions and losing 1 interception himself from Tyler Russell. Jonathan Banks got his 3rd interception of the season, his 15th of his career. He's 1 shy of the school record now. It's always great talking to Jonathan Banks after he has a good game. He always treats it like it's no big deal. And he was doing it again tonight. He was just like, hey, that's just what I'm expected to do. I don't want to sound cocky. That's just what I'm supposed to do. He says, if you throw the ball to me 5 or 6 times, I'm going to get one of them. And he did tonight. South Alabama tested him. Really, no team has really tested him a lot this year by throwing the ball at him. South Alabama did tonight, and they paid for it with an interception. The Bulldogs, going forward from this game, they got a lot of things they got to clean up, especially offensively. I think that's what's concerned Dan Mullen the most. He's mentioned the last 2 weeks, we'll get this fixed, we'll get this fixed. The offense, they've got to, I really don't know. You can't really put your finger on it, but they've got to just calm down and execute. It seemed like some things were rushed tonight, and that did not please Dan Mullen. I'm sure he let the team know about it at halftime and, of course, after the game. But as he said, the good thing for them is they're 4-0 for the first time since 1999. And this team's going to rise in the polls. In fact, I got to go look at some scores and look at some film myself. I might be putting Mississippi State in my top 25 because they were just on the edge, about 26 or 27 in my poll last week. I've been catching a lot of flack for it, I know. But Mississippi State goes into a road game at Kentucky in 2 weeks with a 4-0 record and a lot of confidence. And speaking of confidence, how about Devin Bell nailing 3 field goals tonight, including 2 42-yarders, career longs. He started the season 0 for 3, a true freshman, getting some confidence now. You got to feel good about that for Mississippi State, especially if they get in a close game later down the season. You can count on that kicker. But going to Kentucky, a Kentucky team that has not looked good. They got blown out at Florida, didn't even score a single point. The Wildcats, a lot going on there. Is Joker Phillips safe? Is he going to be able to keep his job after the season? A lot of stuff going on. But it's always tough going on the road in the SEC. If the Bulldogs can find a way to get over some of these mistakes during this bye week, rest up, and then go on the road to Kentucky and get a win there, no matter how ugly or how pretty, they're going to keep going up in those rankings, and they still have a chance going into that back half stretch of the season against the likes of Alabama and LSU and Texas A&M, which is looking pretty good right now. But there's some teams that are showing cracks this season. LSU showed a few cracks at Auburn. Arkansas lost once again at home. Arkansas definitely does not look like the team everybody thought they were going to be. And Alabama just keeps steamrolling people. But you're seeing these openings for Mississippi State that no matter even if they are disappointed with a win like this, they're doing so by playing their type of football. They're not having to do things outside of themselves. They're able to do what they do and know how to do offensively and defensively to win these football games. Sure, they're not pretty, but the Bulldogs are getting wins, and they're doing it almost like in stride. It just doesn't seem like it's a lot to them to get these wins, though they are, I'm sure. It just shows you the program seems to maturing and mature under Dan Mullen here in the 4th season. Much more coverage in the Clarion Ledger Sunday. I've got several videos up on the blog already and a post-game blog. I even interviewed Rick Ray, the Mississippi State basketball coach. That's on the blog. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at @bmarcello for more coverage and up-to-the-minute updates, as always, at clarionledger.com. Thanks for joining me here at Scott Field. I'll catch you down the road.